Hey guys, Joe here with Reasonable Media, and today we're talking Senator Elizabeth Warren's failed DNA test. Earlier this week, Senator Warren released the results of a DNA test aimed at illustrating her Native American heritage. Presumably, she did this so that she could defend against Donald Trump's tagline of Pocahontas, which he's been calling her for over a year now. I understand her and her campaign needing to address this. I understand why they felt they needed to address this, but why they decided to address it this way is beyond me. I think this was handled terribly and embarrassingly. I think this is a black eye for Senator Warren. And I think it may even cost her the party's nomination and prevent her from getting that nomination. The DNA test showed that she is only, at most, 1/64th Native American and at least 1/1024th. So essentially, she is not at all Native American, which is obvious to look at her. If you look at her, she's an old white lady. That's plain as day. Donald Trump has been calling her Pocahontas because earlier in her lifetime she had listed on one of her college applications, or possibly several of her college applications, that she was Native American. And then later in life, she had also, her and her husband had contributed recipes to a Native American cookbook. And represented themselves as Cherokee, which is so cringeworthy to me, and super embarrassing, I think, for the senator. Donald Trump recognized that and has successfully used the Pocahontas tagline on her. So clearly her campaign felt we need to get out from under this. If we're going to have a serious shot in 2020, we need to disarm that argument. And I agree. I think they did need to do that. Doing it like this, on the other hand, was just a terrible, terrible way to do it. Poorly executed, and if I were Elizabeth Warren, I would fire whoever's idea it was on my campaign team to do this. And worse still is not only did she take and fail the DNA test, but the worst part of it is she presented that DNA test very smugly. She posted on Twitter, to Donald Trump, hey, you can send the $1 million here, and here's my DNA test. And in addition to the DNA test, she did a very campaign-esque type video where it interviews her older brothers and family members, and they talk about how her dad had very high cheekbones, which is just, if her test had demonstrated that she was even reasonably Native American, that video could have been a home run. But the test didn't prove that. The test proved the opposite. And so I almost wonder if they made the video and then got the tests, and they were like, well, we already have this video, let's run with it, which kind of how it seems. So terrible rollout with that. A big self-inflicted embarrassment for Senator Warren, and I have a tough time imagining her getting out from under this. But if I were Senator Warren, my number one goal right now, if I wanted to be, if I had aspirations for 2020, my number one goal is undoing this mess that she's just created. What she could have done prior to this, I think, and I'm not by any means the first one to suggest it, and what she should have done is she could have come out and said, you know what, particularly after she got the DNA tests, I think what she should have done is come out and say, you know what, my whole life, these were the stories we were told. My dad had the high cheekbones. Our family lore suggests that we were. I've got this test result. Turns out I am not Native American. And sorry for claiming to be one when I am clearly an old white woman. Why she didn't do that, I don't know. Failing to do that, though, and instead opting to take this course has just absolutely blown up in her face. It has distracted from important issues in the midterms. It's distracted from her policy issues. And it's added fuel to the fire for Donald Trump. And it's given him a very, it's taken an effective tagline that he had in calling her Pocahontas. And now it actually kind of puts weight behind it. Because in the face of seeing that she is in fact not Native American, she's still committed to it. I feel like it's self-inflicted, it's messy, and I hate to say it, but the people who are making comparisons to her and, for example, Rachel Dolezal, I get it. I just, she's not Native American. She's still claiming to be. The Cherokee Nation came out with a particularly damning statement, more or less telling Elizabeth Warren, we do not, for a moment, consider you to be Native American. We don't rely on DNA tests to give people passes to claim that they're natives. And I agree with them. I think that was absolutely the right move. It's also kind of a big embarrassment, an additional embarrassment for Elizabeth Warren. And worse still, out of all of this, I think the worst part of this is at a time when Elizabeth Warren is fighting this fight to prove she's Native American when she isn't, she could instead be fighting the fight for the Native Americans in North Dakota who recently suffered a loss at the Supreme Court and have been, by and large, disenfranchised by the Supreme Court. If you're not familiar with that issue, I'll leave a link to several articles on it, and you can read up on that. But so there are pertinent issues to, the Native Americans right now that are largely being ignored because of this mess with Elizabeth Warren. So, not a fan of this move. I think it cost her quite a bit of capital, political capital. And I think unless she can find a way to undo this and get out from under that Pocahontas tagline, I think Elizabeth Warren's hopes for 2020 are done. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. If you think I'm wrong, leave a comment below and let me know. If you like this video, leave me a like. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I genuinely enjoy talking politics. I like talking about the issues of the day, so feel free to leave comments. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.